Breaking news. Tensions between Israel and Iran have reached a boiling point, with both nations trading strikes in recent days. The situation has many wondering if we're on the brink of a larger conflict that could draw in the United States and potentially spark World War III. The escalating hostilities between these long-standing adversaries have raised alarm bells across the international community. Israel, responding to what it claims were Iranian provocations, launched a series of targeted strikes against Iranian military installations. Iran, in turn, has retaliated with missile attacks on Israeli targets, creating a dangerous cycle of violence that shows no signs of abating. As the conflict intensifies, all eyes are on the United States. The question on everyone's mind is, will America be pulled into this brewing storm? The U.S. has long been a staunch ally of Israel, and many fear that any further escalation could force Washington's hand, potentially leading to a wider regional conflict or even a global confrontation. Some observers are drawing parallels to biblical prophecies, particularly those found in the Book of Revelation. They point to the current geopolitical landscape and argue that these events may be fulfilling ancient predictions of end-time scenarios. While such interpretations are highly controversial and disputed by many scholars, they've gained traction among certain religious and political circles. The situation in the Middle East is undeniably complex, with historical, religious, and political factors all playing a role. Israel, citing security concerns and what it perceives as existential threats, has taken a hardline stance against Iran's nuclear ambitions and regional influence. Iran, for its part, views Israel as an illegitimate state and has repeatedly called for its destruction. This latest round of hostilities has its roots in a series of covert operations and cyber attacks that both sides accuse the other of perpetrating. The assassination of Iranian nuclear scientists and sabotage at nuclear facilities have been attributed to Israel, while Iran has been blamed for supporting militant groups that target Israeli interests. The international community is scrambling to prevent further escalation. Diplomatic efforts are underway, with world leaders calling for restraint and a return to negotiations. However, the deep-seated animosity between Israel and Iran, coupled with the volatile nature of the region, makes finding a peaceful resolution challenging. Critics argue that Israel's actions are deliberately provocative, designed to draw the United States into a conflict with Iran. They point to the strong influence of pro-Israel lobbies in Washington and suggest that some elements within Israel's government believe that only U.S. military intervention can effectively neutralize the Iranian threat. Supporters of Israel, however, contend that the nation is merely defending itself against a regime that has repeatedly threatened its existence. They argue that Iran's pursuit of nuclear weapons and its support for militant groups pose an unacceptable risk to Israeli security and regional stability. The potential for U.S. involvement in this conflict raises serious questions about the future of American foreign policy and its role in the Middle East. After years of costly wars in Iraq and Afghanistan, there's significant public fatigue and skepticism about further military engagements in the region. However, the strategic importance of the Middle East and America's commitments to its allies may leave policymakers with difficult choices. As events unfold, many are left wondering, are we witnessing the opening stages of a conflict that could reshape the global order? Is this a coincidence of geopolitical factors, or, as some believe, the fulfillment of ancient prophecies? The coming days and weeks will be crucial in determining the course of this crisis. Will cooler heads prevail, or will the region descend into a wider conflict? The world watches with bated breath as Israel and Iran continue their dangerous dance on the edge of war. In these uncertain times, it's natural to seek answers and explanations. Whether one views these events through the lens of geopolitics, religious prophecy, or historical patterns, the gravity of the situation is undeniable. The potential for a broader conflict, possibly involving nuclear powers, looms large over the international community. As we continue to monitor this developing story, we're left to ponder. What do you think? Are we witnessing the unfolding of biblical prophecies? Or is this simply another chapter in the long and troubled history of the Middle East? The answers may not be clear, but the stakes couldn't be higher. Stay tuned for further updates as this critical situation continues to evolve.